Hey folks, today we're on to number 116 for our DevOps SRE interview question. And again, we're going through 15 most important topics that you should know before getting into a DevOps interview. Of course, they're not going to ask you what all 15, but they might. They will be choosing from one of these topics most likely. So you have to have some basic knowledge about each of these topics. That will also make you a good DevOps or SRE person when you actually do get into it and get into a role. So number 9, RDS. RDS is basically SQL servers, MySQL servers, or actually it can be multiple types. Does it on AWS? So if you want a RDBMS, meaning Relational Database System, you can choose from different types, MySQL and Aurora and whatnot, right? And that whole service is called RDS on AWS. So the question is on that topic today. Before I move on though, please subscribe to my channel. That motivates me to do more videos for you every day. Okay, question number 116. What steps would you take to ensure a smooth transition from on-prem to Amazon RDS, considering both data integrity and application continuity, right? So the answer is basically pretty much the same, no matter what the question actually asks about this topic. Basically, they want to know what's your understanding of the steps of going from an on-prem, let's say MySQL database, to a MySQL database hosted on Amazon's RDS. What things you think about when you do that, right? That's the question. The answer is, oh, that's the next question, not the answer. The answer is, first of all, you start with the architecture. You have to understand how the application is accessing your on-prem MySQL server, and what the architecture looks like, what the flow looks like. So you have a good sense of what things must happen when you do the migration afterwards, right? So it's not just a blind copying of the database. That's not how it works. Amazon has a service called DMS, Database Migration Service, that is designed specifically for this. So what you do is you give it a source and a destination. Source being your on-prem database. Your destination is the database that you're going to go to in AWS and RDS, right? You set up a continuous application. At one point, when you're ready, you send your application to use the one in AWS and not use the one in on-prem, right? A lot of times it's done in two phases. You're making a copy, right? But you're still writing to your on-prem. But one day you start reading from both from on-prem and your AWS hosted database, and then you can actually drop reading it from your on-prem, and then you actually finally you can stop writing to your on-prem and you start writing to your AWS database. Now, once you've figured that out, you should get this tested in staging, meaning in staging environment from your application. You do the same steps that we just talked about for MySQL in AWS, right? And then you play this out and make sure that everything working okay in staging. Once you've done that, then you go and seek out a downtime from your stakeholders. Sometimes it could be just an hour, maybe. Sometimes it could be a few hours. So you seek out downtime from your users or your stakeholders. And during the before the rollback, before going live, before doing the cutover, you must have a rollback plan. So if something doesn't go right during go live, how do you go back to what you were doing before, so you have minimal downtime if a surprise thing happens and your migration is not successful. So these are the 4 or 5 main things you should talk about when you're talking about the plan to migrate from on-prem SQL database to an on-prem to an AWS hosted SQL database, or Postgres for that matter, in AWS RDS. Hope this was useful to you, and I will see you in the next video, which will be on the topic of, Scrum, and that'll be number 117. Have a good day.